Bear with me for a second. Mother of the groom. Man, we have homeschooled for the past 25 years. 5 sons. An amazing journey. So thankful that my husband provided in a way that allowed me to stay at home as not only a wife and a mom, but as a homeschooler. And here we are at the end of our journey. And just this past weekend, we married off our second son. Oh, well, in my house, this is the only way to get girls into the house, is to marry off the boys. Mother of the groom. Do I look like a mother of a groom? Do I look like I have a 30-year-old? I don't feel like it. I remember. So our second son got married at the same age that my husband and I had our first child. 24. The wedding was glorious. But I learned a couple things as mother of the groom that I wanted to share with you, because they're hindsight things that I didn't think about in advance. And as homeschool moms, we want to think about these things. And sometimes you just need a gray-haired person to say, "Psst, can I talk to you for a second?" Mother of the groom. First, depending on the dynamics in your home, you may or may not need or want to do things. You know, we talked with our son and we did things like the rehearsal dinner and helped with their honeymoon and stuff, because my husband is amazing. That's why. But the dinner stressed me out. So I employed one of my secret homeschool lessons, and that is be an expert help seeker. I looked around in my homeschool and life circle and I said, "You are an expert hospitality person." And I asked her, I said, "Okay, don't spare my feelings. If you were gonna host a party for this many people and you wanted to keep it chill because the kids are like, hey, don't do anything fancy, what would you do?" And then I sat there with my piece of paper and I wrote it all down, and that's what we did. We did Costco sandwiches and some salads and some fruit and cookies and finger foods, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that was tip number 1. Another expert help seeker. I'm a mom of 5 boys, and I don't really care about things like hair or makeup. So I looked around my circle and I went, "You, no hair and makeup. Tell me what I need to do." Who was that? My daughter-in-law. Oh, she's amazing. And she went back and forth with me and helped me pick out my mother of the groom makeup and talked through hair. And I ended up doing exactly what she suggested for the mother of the groom hair and makeup. Dresses. Have I ever told you that I hate shopping? Like with a purple passion? Hate it, hate it. For my son and now my daughter-in-law's wedding, they gave us a color palette. And the 2 colors that I was able to choose from were a dark green or a sage green. So I went to all 5 of the stores in my little town that might have gowns, and they only had the dark green. And I tried on some dresses and they made me frumpy. They made me feel frumpy. There was one that was okay, but it was dark and it was heavy. So I went online and I ordered 4 dresses. I had tried on enough dresses that I knew my size, and so I had them sent to the house. But there were lessons. There were lessons even in ordering online. The first dress came and I tried it on and it was amazing. I loved the fabric. I loved the fit. I loved the way it made me feel. I started twirling within 10 seconds, so I knew this dress makes me happy. The other 3 dresses, there were issues. The first one showed up and I didn't like the fabric, so I knew I was going to return it. The second 2, they charged me for, but they never showed. Well, they said they were there, but they weren't there. So I had to go through the rigmarole of getting the refund from Amazon, and it took 2 phone calls to get that done, but I did get that done. But that other dress, you know, when you order online, make sure that you're getting stuff not from far, far away in the Orient. You know, rhymes with Bina. I went to go return this dress. They approved the return. The dress was not that expensive. It was like $115 or something. In order to send it back, it was going to be $245. Yeah, no. I took that down to my favorite consignment shop, and we're going to see if we can't sell it for at least $1. I'm not going to pay to get rid of it. So, lessons from shopping. I live in not a small town, but I don't want to drive all the way around the water to go to Seattle. Remember, I hate shopping. So I ordered dresses and tried them on in the comfort of my home, and that was fantastic, if I had paid attention to where they were coming from. So if you do that, know that you're going to pay for them, and that you need to know that you can return them. So pay attention to where they're coming from. These are lessons. These are life lessons. As a homeschooler, you can glean from, well, how did you figure out how to solve fractions? You asked somebody. So these are my lessons from mother of the groom things. The next lessons were, when your kids get married, they don't just marry somebody. They marry a family. Oh, we are so blessed by the family that we got connected to as our son and his bride became Mr. and Mrs. Oh, we love these people. They're amazing. The kids even want to now call us Aunt Bekki and Uncle Craig. And of course they can. We're so thrilled. Make sure that you invest in your kids' lives in a way that they want to be connected with you and the family, because it's not just two coming together, it's families coming together. Did we do things perfectly? Nope, neither will you, and that's okay. But it's so important to teach your kids these things. So the other thing with being a mother of the groom is that boys grow up and they get married and they move away. This is my second son to marry. I've got one in one state, now I've got another in another state. And mama, if you have boys, if you have daughters and they get married, you need to let them go. You need to trust that what you've done to raise them up will help them through the transition into married life, and that when they come up for air, and they will eventually, that you need to be there but not ready to pounce, right? They now move into kind of like friendship mode, and you're welcome to be part of their lives, but you don't really get to call the shots anymore. You don't really get to force your opinions, force your choices on them. Instead, you need to be a really good listener. So if your kids are older, 17 and up, make sure that you're practicing listening. And here's the last thing that I want to share. My kids that got married decided to do a jazz theme. Jazz, because she's a musician and she loves jazz. So they had sent swing dancing lessons online, just some simple swing dancing. And the boys and I were practicing. Well, two of the boys and I were practicing. So when it came time to the wedding day, I mean, picture this. Not only did I get to dance with my husband, and they had one of those who's been married the longest competitions. Yeah, we won. We could tell by looking at the color of their hair. Babe, we got this. We got this. We totally rocked it. We've been married 33 years now, and oh my gosh, so blessed. But I got to dance with all of my sons that were present. The groom, we did a mother of the groom dance. I'm an introvert. You may not know that because I don't mind talking to a camera as if we're walking around the track. But we're dancing to this song, and after about 30 seconds, I kind of lean in. I'm like, how long is this song? Because there's a lot of people staring at us. So then we started sliding, and just being silly. So fun. Twirling, because the dress is a perfect twirl dress. So fun. Then a little later, son number 3, I see him walking up to me. He's like, would you dance with me? Oh, would I dance with you? Are you kidding? Come on. So I got to dance with him. Then son number 4 invited me to dance. He is like really good at leading. So we're out there dancing on the floor, and I can see my youngest son walking towards us. And I was like, he's gonna cut in. And sure enough, he taps his brother on the shoulder. He's like, may I cut in and dance with this beautiful woman? And no, he says. This is so funny. He's like, please, may I dance with my mom? And so the brother yielded. And then I proceeded to get schmoozed around the dance floor by my youngest son. This is so funny. The dress brings out the sparkle of your eyes as we're dancing. It's like, that lipstick makes you look glorious. He's like, your pearls. And I'm dying, like, you smoozer. But he wasn't just smoozing, he was dancing and he was speaking fun things over me, and I was so blessed. But here it is. Am I just lucky? I'm gonna tell you no. My husband and I spent the last 30 years, but 25 years homeschooling, where we spent time with the kids. We leaned into our relationships. We talked, we listened. We taught them to dance. We taught them to take out the trash. We meet our future in-laws for the first time, our future in-law family for the first time. And we're sitting there, and one of the ladies finishes her plate, and she puts her fork down, and I see them out of the corner of my eye. Our 3 musketeers, our youngest 3, stand up, clear all the plates, and they start washing the dishes, and she looks at me like, what just happened? Like, well, she goes, I want to pick your brain. And her kids are amazing, amazing. My new niece and nephew, amazing. But she's like, can I pick your brain? Because that's something we want to weave into our family dynamic. And I assured her that what she was seeing was the fruit of a couple decades of role playing and just training and spending time with the kids, and they were just amazing. So wherever you are on your journey, recognize that your kids at some day are going to grow up and likely get married. Prayerfully, right? Oh, my son chose so well. God is so good, brought him his bride so well. We are so pleased with her. Wow, is she an amazing woman. And we're so excited for their future. But they were ready. They were set up to be successful. They were set up to be ready to take flight and to do their thing. I wasn't. I didn't think about things like, oh, I need a clutch bag to carry my lipstick. Because remember, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. But the day of the wedding, I needed a place to put my phone, and I needed a place to put my lipstick, and so a clutch bag. The other thing that I didn't think about was, at first, my new daughter-in-law invited me to do things with her that pulled me away from my core family to hang out with her, and I was so blessed to do it. So blessed to do the bridal shower and have our nails done. When it came to the morning of the wedding, when it came to the morning of the wedding, I realized my place was with my son and my sons, and I needed to make that a priority rather than just run and do all the girly things, even though the girly things were super fun. So making sure that, you know, when it occurred to me, and actually somebody pulled me aside and talked to me and said, check your priorities, make sure that you're focused on where you need to be. And after I got, licked my little pride, and I stepped back, I realized, you know what? I didn't even consider what my husband's expectations were, what my son's expectations were, or what my other son's expectations were. So I pulled them all aside individually and talked to them, apologized, and said, okay, what do you want? Like, how do you want this to go? And when he's now married, but when the groom-to-be, it was his turn to talk, he's like, because I'd really love you with me in the morning, and then go at that one point in the day, go have pictures with the bride. And I'm so glad that somebody pulled me aside and talked to me about it, that I took the time to take a step back and to look through the lens of not just what I expected, but what did my husband expect? What did my children expect? What did the future bride expect? You know, it's easy to be so self-centered in everything that we do. What is it that I want my kids to learn, my kids to do, my kids to be? But take a step back and ask the people around you, ask your husband, ask respected homeschoolers what kinds of expectations they raised their kids to rise up to, and then take all of that in and look at your family through that lens. So anyway, I just wanted to share those few things. We are at the end of our homeschool journey. We still have 3 unmarried kids. Our youngest we just ordered his cap and gown today. Well, that's not true. He picked up his cap and gown today. He ordered it himself, but picked up his cap and gown today, getting ready to wrap up high school and his associate's degree at the same time. And so as we transition into this adult kids that have been homeschooled season, I want you to know that when you're looking for somebody that's been there, done that, I want you to know that you can reach out to me. I want you to know that you can send us an email at abetterwaytohomeschool@gmail.com. You can find us on our website, abetterwaytohomeschool.com, because it really makes a difference when you get stuck to go, hey, who is the expert in this area? And then to go, I can ask you this question. And it's my joy to be able to answer all the questions that come into our inbox every day. So anyway, mother of the groom, super blessed, super excited. 2 down, 3 to go. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my inbox or on my website. See you soon. Bye.